It's the worst of the CBC for January 9th, 2020, the show where I watch the CBC so you don't have to. All right, so the number one story, it's 24-hour news in Canada right now, is the plane going down. We lost 63 Canadians. Condolences to the family and all that. But more importantly, I have been getting some very, very disturbing news about what the Canadian government, the Iranian government, the mullahs, the Islamic Republic, and their lobbyists in Canada, mainly the ICC, are doing in Canada. It is very, very likely that the murder of 63 Canadians, either intentionally or by accident, there's evidence for both, or there's some evidence for one is what we'll say, will be used by people within our own country to increase and strengthen relations and the position of the Islamic Republic of Iran, which means the Iranian government, the Islamic Republic, will be benefiting from the murder of 63 Canadians, just as they benefited from the murder of innocent Canadians in the past. Let me get into this. Okay. So I received a report this morning from someone who I trust, Iranian, not going to name names. This Iranian is a good person. They are on the list. You know, the people who are on the terrorist list that our security forces have, the people on the list of bad people, they are on their list of people fighting bad people. So they tell me that there are already people within the government and the ICC, and what they're doing is they're going to be trying to use this as an opportunity to reopen the embassy. You know, Stephen Harper closed the embassy because Iran was smuggling weapons and funds and radicalizing people in Canada, murdering innocent Canadians like Zara Kazami. Now, why would Iran murder its own people? We're hearing that was asked on CBC. They brought in a former Trudeau ambassador to say, even if Iran did shoot it down, we shouldn't do anything because it's likely by accident. And why would they kill their own people? Are you high? 2 weeks ago, there were reports that they killed, the minimum is 1,500, and I've been hearing as many as 10,000 Iranians. They even got on television, and the minister said, we're not shooting them in the head, we're also shooting them in the legs, as if that made it better. Okay, so 1,500 to 10,000. They killed thousands of their own people in the last couple of weeks. So I'm going to point out that anyone right now upset at the loss of Iranian lives over the plane, but didn't say anything while thousands of Iranians were being slaughtered in the streets, you don't give a shit about Iranian lives. You're a hypocrite. You just only want to garner sympathy and say nice things when it's easy. When it's easy. It's easy to mourn the victims of this plane crash, and we should, but it's easy. It is not easy when a tyrannical government is murdering people on the streets for you to say something. And that's what I'll say on that. But what you have to know, so the ICC, people within the government. So we talked about Majid Johari, which I've written articles on. Majid Johari is an asset of the IRGC. He is a Liberal MP in Richmond Hill. He is regime. He is not a Canadian minister. He is a minister of the Islamic Republic of Iran elected into Canadian office. Okay? Sacha Trudeau, Justin Trudeau's brother, used to be on the payroll of the Islamic Republic of Iran, making propaganda documentaries for Press TV that glorified terrorist organizations and legitimized Iran's arms buildup as a noble thing. Okay? These will be the people in charge of it. And under the guise of gaining access to the investigation and getting answers for the victims and needs to coordinate, they will use this as an excuse to reopen the embassy. That is their current push, and we cannot let that happen. Because this is, again, how regimes like this work. They are evil, and they work on strength and weakness. So some of the evidence to say that this might not have been an accident, this might have been a bit deliberate. I had posted the article, the Ukraine security forces on December 26th had seized and stopped an Iranian smuggling ring, smuggling weapons into that country. So we do know that Iran was trying to do some smuggling through Ukraine. We don't know. The Ukrainians believe Iran is involved. They've shut down travel to Iran because they don't trust them. And another evidence is we are a weak country under Justin Trudeau. That is a fact. Canada is weak under Trudeau. It is a fact, and they see that. Because when they murdered Kayed Soleimani and took his wife hostage, we didn't say anything publicly. Yes, we got her wife back. But Trudeau didn't go hammer the regime, didn't use it as an excuse to designate the IRGC a terrorist organization. He voted on it, but he still hasn't done it. He is pro-Iran, not pro-Canada. And I totally say that right now because Canadians have been murdered, and has he backed the Americans? Okay. The reason why you can kill 63 Canadians and get away with it is because they saw they could kill and torture a Canadian before and get away with it. So, hey, maybe there's two birds in one stone. Maybe there's some Ukrainians on the plane we didn't want. Maybe there's an Iranian or two. I do know some of the people on the plane were actually more sympathetic to the regime. Some weren't. But, I mean, if there's just one guy they wanted to kill, the Iranians will knock down a whole plane. They just killed 10,000 of their own people on the streets. What are you talking about? Oh, they wouldn't kill their own people. Yes, they would. All the time. Do you not know anything about this regime? So we have people like Sacha Trudeau, Justin Trudeau, Majid Johari, other useless people working with the ICC and the useful idiots within our government to legitimize the RGC. And one of the things they're doing is, I already see this propaganda. The reason I'm reporting it because I watched the CBC and I saw the baseline for this propaganda already start to be put out. We need more access. We're talking about opening up access, lines of communications. What can we do? They're already laying the baseline for all the propaganda points I was told about this morning. They're all starting to come out on the CBC now. And one of the most amazing things I saw is Vasily Kapellos basically blamed the Americans for this. Vasily Kapellos got up and said, well, a lot of Iranians are going to be asking questions like, if the Americans didn't kill Soleimani, would this have happened? Or how about if the Iranians didn't attack the embassy? Or how about if the Iranians didn't seize those tankers in the Gulf? Or how about if the Iranians didn't shoot down that drone? Or how about if the Iranians didn't declare a global jihad and their goal to annihilate the world and institute Sharia law? How about if the Iranian Republic... how about if the Iranian Republic was an Iranian Republic instead of an Islamic Republic? How about that? How about if the Ayatollah didn't murder his own people and declare war on the world and want to nuke our allies? How about that? What would happen if that didn't happen? What if they didn't attack the embassy? Blows my mind. So, when I said the American news media was just Iranian propaganda, the Canadian media has now joined on. We are now living in the Islamic Republic of Canada. We are our leadership might as well have been Qasem Soleimani, but basically the Trudeau is a puppet. Is Freeland in charge, or is the Ayatollah Khamenei in charge? I don't know, but either way, it's pretty much the same thing at this point. So what do they get on a scale of, it's a 10 out of 10 the Ayatollah scale. 10 Ayatollahs out of 10 Ayatollahs on the Rosemary Barden scale today. Oh, God help us for Canada. We are so screwed.